Hello, my name is Sebbi, and welcome back to the coffee break in Minecraft. Today is Wednesday, March 23rd, 2016, and yeah, what's new? Well, yesterday I was finally running again, and it felt so good. It was so fantastic being running again in the morning, breathing the fresh air, listening to the birds, seeing some wild animals like squirrels and deers, and yeah, so it was really fantastic, and it's a great start into the day. I really enjoyed going running in the morning, and yeah, it's so refreshing, and I really feel energized once I'm back home. And yeah, so I'm all the time so happy going running in the morning. And well, usually I go running twice a week, but well, as I was the last 2 weeks in Iceland, I haven't had the chance to go running, and in this case it felt really fantastic being running again and enjoying the nature. And I'm all the time surprised because I enjoy so much of the nature, and I enjoy so much listening to the birds, hearing the woodpeckers doing their work and so on, that so many other people and so many other runners are just wearing the headphones and listening to music. I mean, yeah, I can fully understand that music can be quite motivating and can really help you to keep up your pace or so. But on the other hand, when I can listen to the sounds of nature, then this is way more interesting. This is way more relaxing. And so running really helps me to relax a bit, to think about all the things going on in my life, and to even solve sometimes some problems I am working on. And so it's really fantastic to go running and to enjoy the nature. And it's for me even a different way of enjoying the nature, because yeah, I'm exposed to the elements. I can listen to, as I said, to the birds. I can see some wildlife, and so it's really fantastic. And oh no, this was wrong, but anyway. And yeah, so I'm really happy that I have the chance to go running in the morning. And yeah, usually I go for a 1 hour long run. That's about 13.5 kilometers or so, and that's really fantastic once I'm back. And then I can enjoy my breakfast, and often, or well, during the winter time, I was even able to enjoy the sunrise, and that's really fantastic once you... Oh no, what am I doing here? That's all wrong. That's all wrong. Okay, I need to cover up this again. Okay, then do I have smooth stone? No, I don't have smooth stone in my inventory. I need to remove this. And yeah, so in the last episode, I began to talk about my Iceland journey, and wow, it was so fantastic. And in this case, it was really hard for me to find a good start into my Iceland Report. Oh, that's a fantastic title. It's almost like a thriller or an action movie or so. The Iceland movie, no, the Iceland Report. Oh dear. I'm so excited to be back, and to be back in my Minecraft world, to do this Minecraft thing again, to do my vlog thing again. It has really become an important part of my life, that I can sit down and talk about all the things going on in my life. And so it's really fantastic doing this Minecraft thing, and I hope you really enjoy this. As I said, just before the Iceland journey, it's really sad. Oh well, it's not that sad that I'm leaving for Iceland now, but it's really sad that I have to leave now. And especially as I got some new viewers on the coffee break, and you seem to enjoy it. I got some new questions, and that's all the time fantastic. And I'm really looking forward to continue doing all of that and answering your questions. And yeah, but soon I will vanish again for Easter, because yeah, Easter is upon us, and then I will be gone again for about a week or so. But afterwards I will be back, and everything will return to the normal schedule. And yeah, so that's really cool. And yeah, Iceland. It was really hard to find a good start, and so I was talking about all the different things that came to my mind. And toward the end of last episode, I began to talk a little bit more in a chronological order about the Iceland journey. And yeah, the first 3 days or the first 2.5 days were in the so-called Golden Circle, where the geyser is located, where the okay, this is good so far. Where the Gullfoss is, the very impressive and large and huge waterfall, and there's also this Thingvellir thing, the place where Iceland is torn apart because, well, the Iceland is some parts of Iceland are on the European continental plate, the other parts are on the American continental plate, and both plates are drifting apart, and so Iceland is torn apart, and okay, this was not the source block, that's strange. Okay, so this is fantastic, and yeah, every year the plates drift away from each other by 2 centimeters or so the ravine gets larger and larger, and that's really fantastic, and it's really amazing. So yeah, those were the first 2.5 days, and well, it's called the Golden Circle because well, all those highlights are in the southwestern part of Iceland, and in the southwestern part of Iceland is also Reykjavik, the capital of Iceland, and there's also Keflavik, where the international airport is located, and in this case, yeah, it's pretty close for tourists that stay only a couple of days in Iceland, and well, those are the most important things you have to see. And then we continued on as we wanted to go to the northeastern part of Iceland. One of the main reasons was also that one of our friends has a house up there, and so we had the opportunity to stay in her house for a week. And yeah, this is really fantastic when you can stay in a house there, and you can cook your own food, and well, you really have some kind of base camp, and that's really fantastic. This was amazing. But yeah, so we had to continue. We had to leave the southwestern part of Iceland and continue north. And as I said in the last episode, we can't go through the middle of Iceland as they are the highlands, and during the winter time you can't drive on the highland roads because they are full of snow. They don't service those roads, and yeah, so we had to follow the coastline. And on our way to the north, we also made another stop. I saw this already last year at the world's largest, or Europe's largest hot spring. I don't know. I'm not quite sure if it's the world's largest or the European largest hot spring area, but it's really, really impressive because it's, well, this part has, or the most interesting part has a length of, let's say, 10 to 15 meters or so, and there's basically some kind of rift or so, and out of this rift comes a lot of boiling water. So you have a lot of small fountains of water, and it's all boiling water, and it's so warm around there, and they use that hot water to heat their greenhouses, to grow some vegetables and to grow some flowers, and it's really fantastic, and it's so unbelievable when you stand in front this well, let's say 15-meter long rift, and there's so much boiling water shooting out of the earth, and that's unbelievable. That's so crazy. Unfortunately, it was, well, it's all the time windy in Iceland, but at this time the wind came out of a bad direction, so you weren't able to see all of those hot springs because, yeah, it was full of steam and you had no chance to really see it, but still, it was very, very impressive. And yeah, then we continued on, and our next stop, or our next main goal, was Akureyri, the second largest town of Iceland. It's in the north. Well, it's definitely in the most northern part. Maybe it's a little bit already to the east, so northeast. But well, it's in the north of Iceland. It's really hard to explain in which fjord it is and so on. But yeah, it's the second largest town of Iceland, and by second largest town, it's really a small town when you compare it to other Western cities, and even Reykjavik, the capital of Iceland. I think there are more than 300,000 inhabitants in Reykjavik or so. And yeah, when you compare this to other Western cities, then this is very, very small. I mean, I don't know, Berlin has 3 million inhabitants or so. I don't know, but a lot of more people are living there, and so it's really a small town. But it's very beautiful, and yeah, Akureyri is also an interesting city. It has some interesting small houses, and the most impressive thing is that there are so many young people, and this is really a thing I thoroughly enjoy, because here in Germany, I don't know what is going on, but most of the time I just see old people. Well, I'm quite lucky that I live in a small university town, so there are a lot of students around, but in general, most of the time when I go into a shop or so, all the time I see, well, not old people, but yeah, I don't know. It's really hard to come up with their age or so, but they are definitely not below 30 years old or so, or they are not younger than 30 years. And that's all the time sad, or this is really a thing I enjoy in Iceland when I see all those young people. And yeah, Akureyri is also a good area for skiing. So there are some fantastic slopes, and it was really sad. We drove to one slope to just take a look at it. The snow was fantastic. The snow was absolutely amazing, and it was really sad that I had not the chance to go skiing there, because wow, the snow was really fantastic, and I think I would have really enjoyed going skiing and enjoying the slopes. And yeah, this is really fantastic. And well, aside from visiting and enjoying Akureyri, we also explored a little bit the vicinity of it. We drove to some smaller villages where, yeah, they are probably quite famous, or a lot of visitors are there during the summertime, but now in the winter there were no one, and that's really interesting. That's really okay. This looks interesting, but I have the feeling that the corridor is maybe a little bit too narrow, but still it looks good. I think this looks quite interesting to have this water wall, but I think I have to break the glass again, because this dirt looks a little bit off. I think I should replace the dirt with some smooth stone to make it look a little bit more interesting. Okay, wait, is there... No. Okay, I think I have to break the glass again. Can I reach everything from here? This would be good, so that I don't have to break all the... Okay, like so. Do I have... Yeah, I have some smooth stone left. This is good. So what happens if I do this? Okay, yeah, this seems to be working. That's good. What do I wanted to say? Okay, so much about my shovel. I wanted to say something about Akureyri. Was there something I wanted to say? Oh dang, now I'm lost. Now I'm lost again. This is... No, this was bad. Okay. Good. Oh, no, no, no. Oh, dear, I start to drown. Oh, dear, oh, dear, oh, dear, oh, dear, oh, dear. Get out, get out. Whew. Okay. Yeah, okay. Do I wanted to say something about Akureyri or not? Oh, yeah, one thing. Akureyri is, well, it's built on the slope of a mountain or so. I'm not quite sure. But well, you have the fjord, you have a fjord, and it's basically built on the slope of that fjord. And so if you want to go down to the harbor, or your accommodation was a little bit uphill, then you have to descend down that hill. And well, as I already mentioned this in the last episode, in Iceland they are not clearing the snow, and so you have a lot of ice. And this was also the case in Akureyri, and so the very strange thing was that the way down was full of ice. And this is very interesting when you have to walk down a slope, and the slope is completely slippery. And I was really surprised, how do Icelandic people live there and don't have all the time some broken arms and broken limbs or broken bones, when they have all the time this those frozen and icy footpath. But yeah, this was really interesting, and it was very interesting to descend down and to explore the city. And yeah, then from there we continued on to the more northeastern part, into the direction of a small town called Húsavík. And Húsavík is famous for whale watching. So in the summer there are a lot of tourists and a lot of companies that offer whale watching. And yeah, in the vicinity of Húsavík is also the house of our friend, and so we stayed there for a week, which was really fantastic and which was really amazing. And yeah, on the way out to our friend's house, we even visited the Goda Falls, which is, in my opinion, the most beautiful waterfall of Iceland. And the most interesting thing is that it obviously falls down into a gorge, but as the road goes over that gorge, you can well, see the waterfall from both sides. So you can walk along the one side of the gorge until you reach the waterfall, and then you can turn around, cross the gorge over a bridge, and walk along the gorge again to see the waterfall from the other direction. And that's really fantastic. And there was a lot of ice, and this was so beautiful and so amazing. So yeah, the Goda Falls was really impressive. And yeah, this was a stop on our way to our friend's house, and this was really cool to see all of this. And in the next morning we made another stop there, because yeah, we wanted to see at first we saw the Goda Falls in the evening or in the late afternoon, and in the morning we wanted to see it with the sun coming from a different, or the sunlight coming from a different direction. And so this was really cool and really amazing. And yeah, speaking of waterfalls, we also wanted to see the Daddy Falls, which is a quite large waterfall, also located in the northeastern part of Iceland. And our first attempt, well, we had to abandon our first attempt because the last segment, or the last part of the road was closed due to too much snow. And this was also the place where we helped some other people who got stuck with their car. They had the exact same car as we drove, and yeah, they managed to get stuck in the snow, and so we helped them to get their car free. And in the end, they well, they were rescued by the Super G with a winch. And this was really interesting. And yeah, we saw in the distance a plow doing its work, but well, at this point, or at this day, we had no chance to get there, and so we visited some geothermal active areas instead. And the most impressive thing is that, well, especially in the wintertime when it's a little bit colder, there's even more steam, or the steam looks more impressive, especially with some beautiful sunlight. And it almost felt as if I would be on the surface of a different planet or so, because it was so surrealistic. This was so interesting, seeing all those steam plumes coming from the earth, and seeing all that steam moving over the land. And this was really fantastic, and I took some amazing pictures, and I I obviously posted those pictures, and that's really fantastic. And I'm really excited to do all that video things, so that you can even see some videos and some moving images of that steam. And so this was so fantastic to enjoy those geothermal active areas. And yeah, then the next, was it the next day or was it the day after that? Well, I'm not quite sure, but I think 1 or 2 days later, 2 days later, they had removed all the snow and ice from the road leading to the Dettifoss, and so we were able to drive over there and to enjoy the Dettifoss, and this was really fantastic. This was really amazing. But well, when I say they cleared the road was marked as, or on the internet, on the road information website, the road was considered and classified as, well, there might be some patches of ice. In fact, the road mainly consisted out of ice, and yeah, it was basically ice with some patches of tarmac, and that's really funny when you drive on that. And well, thanks to the studded tires, it was no problem to drive there, and this was really cool. And so we managed to get to the Dettifoss, and there was also a quite strong wind, which was also quite interesting. It felt almost like being in the Antarctic or so and going on an expedition, because we were in this completely snowy and icy landscape, and there was strong wind, and this was a lot of fun and was really amazing. And I'm not quite sure what do I like to do next. Maybe I can think of, or I can start to plan some things for this large haul I've created. And yeah, as we were at the Dettifoss, we also, or I met 2 rangers that just placed a sign, or that just blocked a hiking path, because there was not only the Dettifoss, there was a second waterfall, and the way to that waterfall was also covered in ice, and they suspected that there might be some running water below the ice. And yeah, so it's there's the slight chance that as it continued to melt, or it started to melt, that you break into the ice and maybe you get even washed away and washed into the gorge. And this would be pretty bad, especially the water's cold. There are some waterfalls around, and I don't think that this would be quite good, or that this would be good for your health, or yeah, in general. I think this could be really dangerous. And so in this case, they closed the path. And this is once again another indication that you really have to respect the nature in Iceland, because the nature is way stronger than you are, and don't take any stupid risks. Also, this is all the time a bad idea. And yeah, so we managed to get to the Dettifoss. Then another interesting thing is, as well, there was or is a lot of ice, a quite large lake called the Mývatn, also located in the northeastern region, was used by a film crew to create an action movie. In particular, they were filming a scene for the Fast and Furious 8 movie. And it was quite surprising, because Iceland, you don't see many people. You're most of the time alone on the road. And so we drove around that lake in order to look for some beautiful places. And suddenly we saw a lot of trucks and a huge camp basically. And so we stopped there, and then we saw some basically military vehicles and some faster sports cars. And yeah, we saw how they maybe tested their a scene or so, because they drove with their sports cars over the ice, followed by the military vehicles. And this was interesting. This was really interesting to suddenly see this film set, and to see basically not to see a scene of the movie, but to really see, okay, there's something going on. And this was really interesting. And yeah, so with that, we are at the end of this episode of the coffee break. I think I need one additional episode to finish my Iceland story, to finish the Iceland report, and to wrap things up. So I think Sunday will be the last Iceland related episode of the coffee break, and then I will return to answering questions and to do all the other things. And yeah, if you have a question, just ask them in the comment section. And yeah, I think that's about it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you will be joining me on Sunday. Until then, my name is Sebbi. See you!